Hello, this is Nick from PlanetReport.net. I was looking online to see if there was any update regarding the search for the thylacine or Tasmanian tiger, because I did a video about some possible sightings of it in March, I think it was, and they were setting up camera traps and all that sort of thing to see if there was any signs of this creature, which I think was said to have been, I think it was the 1960s it was declared extinct, but I think the last one definitely died in 1936 in Hobart Zoo. But ever since, there's always been sort of people say that they think they've seen one. So anyway, I was looking online, and there was actually a recent news article about a kangaroo that had been beheaded, and some people saying that it could well be a thylacine. But to be honest, I got a bit diverted because there was just that, and I thought I'll do it another time, do a proper one to see, if there's any more sightings or any sort of more news. But I did remember when I was looking on the Australian website that in Australia there is camels. Now, it's not something you would expect to see in Australia. You'd imagine to see a kangaroo if you're in the outback, not a camel. But amazingly, Australia has a humongous population of camels. And the reason that is the case is because in the 1800s, us British thought it would be a great idea to take some to Australia to help with the development of the country and the exploration as well, because there was still large parts of it that not much was known about. So they were taken from British India and Afghanistan in the 1800s, and they were seen as ideal transport for the hot and arid centre of Australia, and they were used to explore the country to create infrastructure and settlements. And so they were used for things like the construction of water pipes and telegraph lines. They were used obviously before there was motorised transport. The first one arrived on a ship in 1840, and apparently it was called Harry, and unfortunately all its fellow camel shipmates didn't survive the journey. And it's a strange thought that the camels were on a ship, on what would have been a large, probably wooden ship, being sailed all the way to Australia. So it's quite amazing that they actually, at least one of them got there, and then obviously more must have followed because there soon became a breeding population of them. And then also they imported workers from places like Pakistan and India to actually ride the camels, and that continued for a while, and they were given like 3-year work permits, I think, and that continued until the White Australia policy of 1901, and then the cameliers reduced in number. And so anyway, the biggest reason that they're in the wild in such large numbers now is because obviously once motorised transport, cars and trucks became more and more common, they were no longer needed and there was surplus to requirements. So many were simply released into the wild, and that's where they started to breed and breed and breed and breed. And by 2008, estimates between maybe 600,000 to 1 million camels. And then in 2009, a management program was set up to reduce the population, and it's now thought it's about 300,000. But they're still breeding, so obviously, and I think the scheme ended in 2013, so the population could start rising again quite fast. And it's the largest feral herd of camels in the world, and they're mostly dromedary camels, which are Camelus dromedarius, and these are single-humped camels. Or I think another name for them is Arabian camels. But then there's also some Bactrian camels, Camelus bactrianus, and they're the ones that have the 2 humps on the back. So one of the problems is that these camels drink loads of water in a place where there's obviously, it's a precious resource, water in the outback of Australia, and they can damage a lot of fencing and like various infrastructure, and then trees, and then they can reduce food sources for native Australian wildlife. So there's a lot of problems with them, and so as well as the cull that they did, I think, like the management program, they also are used now for meat, and the meat's exported to places like the Middle East, and also live camels are caught to be sent abroad for use of as like riding camels, like camel races and things like that. So oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, the farmers, some of the farmers in Australia, I'll put a link below this video of them herding camels using helicopters. And it's pretty wild. Looks quite good fun, really. But yeah, they use helicopters to round them up, and then they sell them on from there. And so anyway, they're not native to Australia, but they have played a major role in the development of Australia as a modern state. So it's very likely they'll be seen as part of the heritage of the country, and will continue to live in the Aussie outback. So if you're ever lucky enough to find yourself in the middle of Australia and you see a herd of camels coming towards you, don't worry, you're not hallucinating. They're not, they're not kangaroos, they are actually camels. So in the meantime, hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to give it a like, please do, and subscribe to the channel by clicking subscribe and then clicking on the bell to receive notifications. I think I'm at 3,400 views for the channel so far, which is, it's just steadily rising, and I am aiming for 10,000 views. And that's not just of one video, that's the whole channel, and I'm hoping to do it by the end of the year. So anyway, thanks for listening, and goodbye.